Forex Daybreak podcast, where we trade the Forex market with you. Entry, target, exit, and stop loss levels are covered when we walk you through every trade made in the show. 5% of Forex traders are profitable, and you can be among the winners. If you wish to find out profitable trade signals in the Forex market, Forex Daybreak is the show for you. Now, let's begin today's episode.
Good morning and welcome to episode 73. Forex pairs in this episode are Euro-USD. We have a strong upwards move during the night and we can look for possibly opportunity to trade this to the upside. Dollar-Yen, we try to figure out if the reversal is near or there's possibility for another leg higher. And Euro-Pound, we are still looking closely on this pair and try to figure out are we still in correction or if the decline has resumed. It is recommended that you will learn to read the market yourself and not just blindly enter trades based on my signals or from any other signal provider. I will not take responsibility from your trading losses or credit from your profits. Okay, that said, let's start this episode. Let's begin with Euro-USD, and we have a strong push upwards during the night. The price now 106.93. Yesterday we had FOMC minutes release, so the minutes from their last meeting where they decided not to raise interest rates like most of the market participants were expecting. Now, of course, after that, everybody's expecting a December rate hike, especially because we got so strong jobs report last time from the United States. So the minutes reveal that FOMC members are all still uncertain that if they are going to raise rates. They say it's a possibility. Of course, it's always a possibility, but they are still looking at lots of data and will confirm based on the data if they will go ahead and raise the rates on December or not. And I think this is just nonsense, because if they were to raise rates, it's not a coin toss when you just decide shortly before the meeting that okay, now we are going to raise interest rates because some data from the past few weeks is telling us to do so. They have been keeping the rates near zero almost 7 years now, and the Federal Reserve has not raised interest rates in over 10 years. So I think this is quite a big decision to make and cannot be made based on some data from a very short period. So I think they are just delaying the inevitable and don't just want to say that they feel that they cannot raise rates on this economical state and want to keep markets waiting for longer and longer and perhaps wait some miracle to happen that they don't need to raise the rates or some very, very strong data just starts pouring in and then everything is okay. So I don't really understand why they are playing this like they are, but more or less the same is the statement than before. No rate hike is certain and there's a possibility for a rate hike in December, but they are data dependent. Okay, let's get back onto the Euro-USD charts. So yesterday or during the night we have had a quite strong upwards move. We went as low as 106.16 yesterday, but have now advanced all the way up to 106.94. And actually, let's see this structure more in detail. This can be a correction on the way down, but let's see this on the 1 hour chart. Alright, this 1 hour chart gives us more clear view of this structure. So we have had now an upwards move. We are now at 106.93, but this upwards move at this point is corrective looking. This whole structure, we can draw it here, so we can make out maybe an expanded flat correction, 3 waves up, 3 waves down. Now perhaps Still one more move higher, and then the continuation for the decline. The one problematic thing here is that we have an overlap between waves on this decline. So from 108.3 all the way down to 106.16 we have an overlapping waves. So perhaps we are still continuing the third wave of this large decline. My wave count is putting the fourth wave peak as 108.3, but this can be only a smaller correction on the way down. So let's see how this develops. If we see now a completed 5-wave structure to the upside and then just a minor corrective move, 3-wave move to the downside, then we can start to look for more larger correction to the upside, which would perhaps take us closer to 108, 108.5 levels. But let's just see how this develops. I wouldn't enter any trades, and I won't enter any trades at this point. So maybe later today, if we have a confirmation that we are forming a correction and the decline, the larger decline will continue. All right, let's see a couple of other pairs. Dollar yen. We have continued to upwards momentum. Smaller correction is now forming, perhaps has already completed, and we can expect one more move higher, maybe near 124 levels in this pair. But I think a reversal here is near, and we can expect next larger move to be to the downside, but more upside is expected, but the upside is quite limited on this pair. So maybe 124 we can expect this to reach. All right, let's see euro pound. Euro pound has declined. Still the same decline is in force, which is looking corrective like I have talked before. We have made new lows, 0.70 and below, even that we have reached. So the low is around 0.698, but I'm still in favor of the B wave scenario here. I have removed the labels on this because this is slightly unsure what the structure in euro pound is at the moment, but I am still in favor of the B wave view, so that this decline would be a wave B on a expanded flat correction. So we can draw it here. So first we have a 3-wave structure for this strong move from the low of the first wave, and this long corrective looking structure now all the way down to 0.698 for the B wave. And next we can expect quite large 5-wave structure towards the previous 4th wave peak around 0.725. And I have talked about this same scenario before in this podcast, and the nature of this latest decline is corrective looking, and compared to the move from 0.7492 is much weaker. Can of course still be the first wave of the third wave. In that case we would get a small correction and then the continuation for the decline. But this is my preferred view, that we are still forming minor wave 2 correction, and it would be forming an expanded flat corrective structure. All right, let's briefly look at euro yen. We have seen upwards momentum, and perhaps there is still one more leg on this triangle to form, which has been the case for quite a while. I have been advocating that we need one more leg on this triangle towards 135 level, but there hasn't been anything to trade for the past couple of weeks. There's more or less sideways momentum seen here. Last Monday we saw a gap down, but we have now recovered all of that. So perhaps there is a trade to be made to the upside. I'm not going to enter anything in euro yen right now, but if you feel that there is one more leg or us in the same camp than I am, there can be a couple of 100 pips to be made here. But just a word of warning, this can be overlapping and very choppy, right? Make your own judgment if you want to trade Euro-Yen to the upside. One more pair, let's see Euro-Canadian dollar. The wave structure here hasn't given us any more clarity. We are still more or less on this same quite tight channel. The price now 1419, and I talked before that if we get a decline below this support zone around 141.5, we can possibly make out then an impulsive structure and this can be a stronger signal for the bears. But the recent price action doesn't look very impulsive, and I have talked about a revision on this chart many times before. Perhaps now it is more appropriate than ever to make this revision. I have looked at Euro-Canadian more in detail, the long-term charts, and there is possibly some other wave count more appropriate here. A large triangle scenario is one of those options. So maybe I will make this revision on the weekend and we can perhaps then find something to trade here. If we are in a large triangle, there can be, of course, a lot of overlap and hard to trade scenarios. So perhaps there is nothing to be found in Euro-Canadian, even if I make the revision. But let's see first if we get a move below 141.5 and can see more impulsive looking structure, then perhaps we can start to trade this pair also to the downside. Okay, that's all for today. Visit the show notes at ForexDayBreak.com/73, and let me remind you that you can get this video analysis, daily trading signals, and access to my trading system when you subscribe to my basic membership. Membership fee is only $10 a month, and I have a 14-day free trial for you to test out my service. You can cancel with one click, so this is truly a risk-free offer. Go to ForexDayBreak.com/basic and sign up. Okay, more trades tomorrow. Happy trading, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks for your interest in Forex Daybreak Daily Podcast. If you like this show, we hope you'll visit our website, www.ForexDayBreak.com. Be sure to check the show notes on our website for this episode. Join us next time for another episode of Forex Daybreak.